All right, I've got the red light blinking. So, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining in. Welcome to one of Ty Houston's webinar. Now into 2020, we're still virtual. For those who are new to Ty, Ty is a global nonprofit organization with the mission of fostering entrepreneurship via networking, mentoring, educating, and angel investing in supporting entrepreneurs. Originally founded in Silicon Valley, there are many chapters of Thai across the globe, where Houston is one of them, and we have been operating for nearly 20 years. We hope that by mid-year this year that we're able to resume our physical events, and but for the first 6 months of this year, we'll continue to offer 2 virtual workshops a month. Our audience this afternoon is largely composed of Thai charter members and a number of Thai general members, as well as few other people who signed up upon seeing our email announcement for this event. So we welcome all of you. Now, before I introduce our moderator, I'd like to acknowledge the generous support of our corporate sponsors as shown on the slide. We thank all of them for supporting Thai Houston. As well, we'd like to thank our Thai charter members, many of whom again are on the call, for your membership support, as well as participating and supporting Thai Houston's activities in the community. With that, I'd like to thank and welcome Dr. Maya Dernovo, Chief Entrepreneurial Officer at Houston Community College. Thank you for joining us, Maya. Take it away.
All right. Thank you so much. And good afternoon, everyone. And thank you for inviting us to share our entrepreneurial programs. And in particular, we're going to be sharing 3 of our signature programs. And we're really proud to have built a very robust menu of programs at HCC, all designed to help start and grow small businesses. So this afternoon, I'm really excited to introduce you to 3 very dynamic and absolutely remarkable women leaders at Houston Community College. Each of them leads a very large and vital program in our entrepreneurial initiatives. And you're going to learn about their unique programs, which really provide skills, tools, and resources to grow small businesses. So you're going to learn how to take advantage and how to participate in each one of them. So I'm going to start by introducing you to Ms. Jennifer Holmes, our director of our corporate college. Jennifer brings over 30 years of achievement in education, community relations, and community development, entrepreneurship, and leadership in public, private, and not-for-profit endeavors. She's done everything. She's got extensive administrative experience in strategic planning and evaluation. She's also been a small business owner, and she has served as the executive director of 3 not-for-profit organizations, and she also worked at the Baker Institute for Public Policy at Rice University, really leading their initiatives there. Now we are fortunate that she's with us at HCC leading the corporate college, and she's done a remarkable job in transforming the corporate college, but also growing it and really providing wonderful services for small businesses. So Jennifer, I turn it over to you.
Thank you, Maya. And thank you, Ty Houston, for having me today. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with my presentation. And okay. So again, I am the director of the corporate college at Houston Community College. And the corporate college is part of the Houston Community College system, but we focus on a very unique client. We work with the small business and large to medium-sized business community, and we develop market-relevant, customized workforce solutions in virtually every industry. We adapt and customize our training to real world learning experiences at every level of an organization with a focus on creating solutions to meet today's needs. We work from an entrepreneurial focal point, and the corporate college purpose is to create an entrepreneurial focus point at the community level, providing entrepreneurs with ongoing access to business training and education that is customized. And we support entrepreneurs to create and sustain a strong, well-positioned business. Our trainings are led by trainers. We can deliver them either on site or at your facility or at one of our campuses. We provide online training. And of course, during this period of time, we have been able to flex our training and offer hybrid types training as well as on-site training, depending on the various manufacturing types of businesses. If the facilities where we can adapt to assure that we are maintaining social distancing, we can do that. So we addressed whatever the needs of the business would be. Some of the types of training that we offer are occupational safety and health, cybersecurity, advanced manufacturing, which, as we all know, incorporates many, many types of businesses, leadership and supervisory skills, data analytics. We have a small business development program where we have worked with the various chambers of commerce throughout the city of Houston. Our tagline for our small business program is "We speak business in every language." We have delivered our small business training program that focuses on the business plan, the marketing plan, access to contracts in English, Spanish, Mandarin, and Vietnamese. We also work with the healthcare community. Right now, our focus and emphasis has been with the dental community. We are the only CODA certified training entity in the city of Houston who is authorized to provide on-site training in dental offices where we deliver coronal polishing, pit and fissure, and nitric oxide training, as well as front office support. We work with the plastics industry. We have Lean Six Sigma, and we also have logistics training. And here's an example of some of the clients that we've worked with. We've worked with large, medium to small size business. We can adapt our services to any of the needs of the community. We worked with the Houston Rockets to develop their diversity inclusion training. We also trained all of the customer service employees or the ticket takers at the Toyota Center. We've also worked with the Houston Dynamos to get them prepared for media interviews. So we develop workplace language. And in manufacturing, we've worked with Benny Keith, Coca-Cola, and as I mentioned, with our small business training program, we've worked with the Asian Chamber of Commerce. And we hope to be working with any of you. What I'd like to focus on is we were able to, when the pandemic brought to us many, many challenges, we adapted and we developed the Peak Performance Training Series. And as I said to you earlier, we could offer it either virtually, we could also come on site and offer various trainings, and we can also offer them as hybrid training. One of the things that we've done is we looked at what is one of the focuses right now for many, many businesses. We have a crisis resiliency series that will focus to help get businesses to make it through what's happening right now with the crisis, as well as be ready and flex and prepared to move forward when we all get those vaccines. And it's our hope that the economy will soon be open sometime this summer in the fall. We also have a wonderful transformational leadership series where that can focus the business leaders and leaders across the organization to be ready to be adaptable in any situation. We have a cybersecurity series. We have been looking at the logistics industry. We've worked with that industry. And as I said earlier, the plastics industry, dental, manufacturing, and food services industry. So we have received funding through the Texas Workforce Commission to fund all of the training that is part of the Peak Performance Series. And if we have not already identified a need for a training, we are open to working with any business industry to develop and customize training that we don't already have. The COVID-19 Special Initiative is funding that's focused specifically on businesses that have been affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, and that is everyone. In order to be eligible to participate in this, the Texas Workforce Commission requires that any business is paying prevailing wages. That means you're paying a wage that is a fair wage for the labor market that you fall in. Our team will work with you. You can identify individuals who you'd like to train in your company and receive up to $2,000 in training dollars over a 12-month period to train any individual in your organization. And again, we will work with you to complete a very simple application. For those individuals who are interested, our grant manager, I have the contact information there. You can also go to Houston Community College, HCCS at edu/corporate college for more information, or you can contact Shamika Clay at 713-718-7374, and her email address is listed, shamika.clay@hccs.edu. There's lots of money out there to be had in the Houston community. And at this point where we are, I believe this is a wonderful time for businesses to really focus their attention on shoring up their infrastructure and make sure that you're ready, positioned, and even if you're operational now, we can help you support you in those efforts. But this is a wonderful time to focus your time and attention on training your workforce and being ready for when the country opens up fully. And again, there's $2,000 a month available for $2,000 over the period of 12 months for you to train individual employees. We would be happy to work with you, and you can contact us at hccs.edu, Corporate College, and supporting Houston businesses. That's who we are. Thank you.
Terrific. Thank you, Jennifer.
Yeah.
So we'll go through all of the presentations and then we'll open it up for questions and answer in case anybody had. And we're encouraging folks to write in the chat. Is that correct, Ravi? Okay, so now we're going to go to Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Initiative. You've probably heard of that program. We've had it at Houston Community College for the past 10 years. We're actually starting the 11th year. And the executive director is Dr. Kimberly Burrows. She leads all components of this very complicated program because it involves a certain amount of recruitment. There's an application process. There's a lot of partnerships that we have with the Houston community. There's a certain amount of measurement because Goldman Sachs is always interested in knowing how our businesses have grown. So it's a very, very comprehensive program. And before leading the Goldman Sachs program, Kimberly served as a facilitator in the program and did some of the workshops in leadership and human resource modules. Kimberly has over 20 years experience in human resources and in organizational development. That's what makes her such an incredible director. Before that, she held positions as Director of Human Resources for the YMCA of Greater Houston, Regional Human Resource Business Partner for ExpressJet Airlines, Human Resource Specialist for the City of Houston, and Manager of Organizational Development and Management Training for Continental Airlines. You have a full plate of experience, Kimberly. So I'm turning it over to you.
Thank you, Maya. And hello, everyone. Thank you for having me here today. I am going to share my screen. Let's see here. Okay. Again, I'm Kimberly Burrows, the Executive Director of the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses Program. And I'm sure many of you have heard of the program. As Maya mentioned, the program is in its 11th year in Houston in partnership with Houston Community College. Initially, Goldman Sachs invested $500 million to help small businesses grow. And most recently, they've just invested another $250 million into the program because we see at this time during the pandemic, small businesses still need help in scaling. So a little bit about the program. So how the program works. There are three pillars to revenue growth and job creation, and that's what the program is all about, revenue growth and job creation. And that is practical business education, business support services, and opportunities to access capital. So here in Houston, our robust alumni have been able to go through the program, and we have statistics to show how, after completing the program, they have achieved revenue growth and job creation. So, what we offer at our community college is between 80 and 100 hours of business management education. That includes courses like leadership, human resources, marketing, all of the things that small business owners can use immediately after receiving the knowledge. In addition to that, we pride ourselves on peer-to-peer learning. So not only do we have a fantastic faculty that are small business owners to deliver the curriculum, we also rely on our participants in the program to share their knowledge and experience with each other to help other businesses grow. We offer business support services. That includes offering advice, technical assistance, and networking. We partner with many different organizations in the greater Houston area and throughout the nation, such as SBA, Small Business Association, and others, Small Business Administration, and others, to help our small businesses while in the program and after. And additionally, we offer opportunity to access capital. We work with community development financial institutions, both locally and nationally, to help our participants in the program gain access to capital, which is a critical component for our small business owners, particularly during times like this. So who we are, the participants in the program. We have a very diverse group of participants in the program, both locally and nationally. We represent various industries, and our participants range in age from 22 to 84. We cover all generations. The demographics show too that ethnicity and race, it covers all. So the program is for all businesses that are in the mature phase. And you can see here that we represent many different industries and have a variety of participants. So the premise of the program is a growth plan. So if you are a participant in the program, you are at the point in your small business to scale. So we provide you an opportunity to look at growth opportunities. From the onset of being accepted into the program, our participants are placed in a cohort and a growth group. That growth group is unique to that participant in helping them based on their own motivation, goals, and vision to grow their business. The growth plan is a tactical and a timely plan designed around the curriculum that focuses on growth opportunities. And some testimonials from some of our alumni say that after graduation, they took their growth plan to their community development financial institution or to other investors, and they pitched that growth plan to them and were awarded opportunities to get loans and other and various things that could help them grow their business. Upon graduation, participants present their growth pitch, their final growth pitch to their peers on their growth opportunity for feedback. So very similar to Ty, we do focus on growth and helping our small business owners develop a growth plan and a pitch. So here's just, this chart represents national and local outcomes. So as of 2020, we did reach the 10,000 mark. The program is called Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses. We have exceeded that. As I mentioned earlier, Goldman Sachs invested another $250 million because the program is still going strong. Locally, we have graduated in Houston in partnership with Houston Community College over 780 local alumni. That represents 1.6 billion in revenue. And those small businesses have 15,000 plus employees. The program's impact. So as Maya mentioned earlier, Goldman Sachs is all about the metrics. We want to find out if the program is efficient and effective for our small business owners. So after the completion of the program, we measure our alumni at 6 months, 18 months, and 30 months to see revenue growth and job creation. And this chart represents here the impact that small businesses that go through the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses program do indeed increase revenue and also create jobs in the community. Finally, applicant criteria. So for those that are interested in applying for the Goldman Sachs program, your growth starts here with us. So you must be the primary or co-owner of a business, your business revenues of at least $75,000 in the most recent fiscal year, have at least 2 employees, that's including yourself, and business has been in operation for at least 2 years. This is the criteria that we use for applicants in our program. On average, we have 3 cohorts a year, averaging between 30 and 35 participants, or as we like to call them, scholars. So we are now accepting applications for our fall cohort, which will start sometime late in August, and the deadline is May 24th. And the website address where you can apply is located below. Thank you.
And Kimberly, just one other point, there is no charge to be a part of this program. Did you want to mention that?
Oh, absolutely. And that's a great point. I'm sorry I missed that. You're correct, Maya. This is a 14-week no-cost program. So it's like a scholarship. So those participants that are invited to join the program, those applicants that are invited to join the program, it is a scholarship. 14 weeks, no cost. Thank you.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Okay, our third remarkable woman leader is Gabriela Zambrano, and she leads our Minority Business Development Agency. And we've had this agency at HCC for 8 years now. So Gabriela is the director, and previous to that, she worked on another Minority Business Development grant, which was a disaster recovery from Harvey. So she's been with us a number of years, and prior to working on the disaster recovery grant, she worked for the City of Houston Office of Business Opportunity as a business development officer. And in this role, she reviewed and certified over 400 businesses for certification as a disadvantaged business enterprise, that's a DBE, and minority and women-owned and small business and small-owned businesses. So it's MWSBE. And that's critical because there are not too many people around that are experts in getting certified. She's one of them. So Gabriela also worked for the State Department, where she coordinated American political and economic policies for the Western Hemisphere, and specifically in Cuba and Honduras. So even though she grew up on the East Coast, she lives here in Houston and is the daughter of Ecuadorian parents, and she's fluent in Spanish. So Gabriela, I turn it over to you. Tell us about MBDA.
Oh, hi, how are you? Thank you, Maya. Feels so nice. One of the few experts. Well, hello, everybody. I'm the director of the Houston MBDA Business Center. MBDA is Minority Business Development Agency. And our goal, we're the only federal program tasked with helping grow existing minority-owned business. Our mission is economic prosperity for all American business enterprise. So since we're a federal program, here in Houston, we're operated by the Houston Community College, but there are business centers all over the United States. So who are our clients? As you can see, African American, Hispanic Americans, Asian and Pacific Native Americans. You must be in business for 3 more years. You must have $1 million or more in annual revenue, but also there are other industries that qualify even if you don't reach the $1 million. So those are our clients. So what kind of service we provide? We provide procurement assistance, access to market, one-on-one business consultations, strategic service like Maya mentioned about minority certification. We do referrals to service providers, marketing, and invitation to training programs, seminars, and events. So if you become a client of MBDA and you say, well, what exactly do I get? So there's a lot of confusion about what's going on, like what kind of certification do I need? Like I have a lot of people now, they're like, I want a minority-owned certification. I'm like, okay, but what kind of contracts are you going for? So not everyone needs to apply. So we have a spreadsheet that tells you your local, state, and federal level, private, and public kind of certification. So you go throughout, and we'll go through the different stages. And also if you're a US citizen or a permanent resident, which one is it, both, and so forth. We also have a procurement guide. Now, I think this is one of our most important guides because it shows you the different links where you can access the local, state, and federal government websites where you can find procurement opportunities. Sometimes once you go to Google, it's overwhelming to look at, okay, where do I go? What do I need to do? So in a nutshell, we'll go through this guide and kind of explain to you, what do you need to do? So for example, the City of Houston, yeah, great, you get your minority certification, but you also need to register as a vendor with the City of Houston. And we'll talk about that process. Also, the City of Houston certification takes several months. So it all depends. Is that where you want to go? Maybe you want to start doing business with the state of Texas and so forth. So we'll go through it a little bit to make sure you understand where you want to look for a job, on where do you want to use your time and effort. And then a guide for proposal writing. If you work for the government, you need to know how to write your bid and your RFQ. And this just gives you tips and recommendations that you might use in the future. Like I mentioned before, we do a lot of strategic events. So we do what is called our virtual substance sandwiches, where we talk to like a big company, a prime construction company, and then we introduce them to subcontractors. And this is a great way, especially now where you cannot do networking. Here we'll provide the contact information. Who do you need to reach? What do you need to do in order to become a vendor? How to qualify? For example, we have one now coming up, which is March 24th with the block companies. So if you're in construction, especially in residential construction, this is the event to attend. Another event that we're doing is Passage to India, how to export to one of the world's largest market. This is a way for you guys to start thinking about access to different market. Last year we did to Mexico, this year we do India. So we try to do different events throughout the year. We're doing this in partnership with the Inter-American Chamber of Commerce. And I'm liking this because I have one person that is gonna talk about STEP grants. Basically it's free money for you, so you can start making your business more globally. And then the other one is Naya, and she's from the US Commercial Service. And that's more like, okay, what kind of service does the US government provide for me if I want to export abroad? Even if you don't want to think about India, you can go to other countries as well. And then we have an entrepreneur, and he's going to talk about more in his perspective as an e-commerce. So this is a great event to attend. If you cannot attend, you can register. We always send the recording afterwards. So yes, it's great, it's nice and pretty, but what's our impact? So since 2013, the Business Center has facilitated over $556 million in financing transaction, $484 million in contract, and we have advised more than 391 minority-owned businesses and helped create more than 12,000 jobs. So those are our goals. That's what we strive, and we want to help. And we understand during the pandemic, life is hard, so we're here to help you. So who we are. So our team, I'm the director. Then we have two great business advisors, Deidre Sutton, Mark Craig, our office manager, Jessica Vasquez. If you want to contact us, you can call us at 713-718-8974 or at mbda@hcccs.edu. Also, you can stay connected with us either through LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, or through our newsletter. If you want to find out what's going on, we have a newsletter that we try to share with people from different events within our partners, our community, so you know what's going on, how it can help you. And that's it for now. Thank you.
Gabriela, do you want to talk about your virtual lobby?
Oh my God, yes, my virtual lobby. So this is a very new initiative where somebody mentioned, why don't you have a virtual lobby where people can just talk to a business advisor? So we implemented, so every Thursday from 2 to 4, you can go in and you can, and you don't have to show your camera. You just need to like ask us what is it that you need, and you speak with somebody live. And we can either set up an appointment with a business advisor or just send you to different referral services. So we thought, since our email is out there, our phone number is out there, that we didn't need this, but we were wrong. It's actually been one of our most, people have been engaging more in the virtual lobby than calling us or emailing us. So
I thought that was really, really innovative. So would any of you like to talk about growth strategies during this pandemic? I know so many businesses have really struggled. Some have closed. What are some things that you would recommend or that you offer through your program that you could share with the group?
Maya, I'll start with that. The pandemic has been hard, particularly on small businesses. And what we're helping our small business owners do, although the program is based on growth, but we're helping them pivot. So what can, how can they pivot into something else based on what they're already producing and or delivering? For example, we had one alumni who has a distillery, and he pivoted to hand sanitizer, to developing and delivering hand sanitizer. So our criteria has changed. Initially, our criteria is $150,000 in revenue for small business owners to apply to the program. But because of the pandemic, we have reduced that to $75,000 a year. And although we still focus on growth, we're also helping our small businesses pivot.
Terrific.
As I mentioned earlier, we do have the funding through the Texas Workforce Commission, the COVID-19 funding. I think this is a wonderful opportunity for those businesses who training has normally been something that they have not been able to afford. This is an opportunity to really shore up and strengthen the backbone of the organization as well. The Crisis Resiliency Series will actually focus on where do you need to place your emphasis right now to sustain yourself and maintain, as well as how do you come out of the crisis thriving. We can help individuals look at their strategic plan, who should they be engaging with, and how do they keep their markets engaged right now. We'll have a marketing expert as part of that. And then we have a person who is an expert in financials, looking at what you need to have in place in terms of insurances and supports around financials as well. So that's available. And then, as I mentioned earlier, this is a wonderful opportunity. I think we did in our peak performance series cover as many of the industries and topics as we went out and researched and met with the chambers to identify. But if there's anything else that is out there that we can work with industries to develop that. And then the other one thing I'd like to point out is cybersecurity. I think this is a really, really good time. And we've got a cybersecurity series that we have launched as well.
So Jennifer, if somebody wanted to apply for some of these resources, what's the first step?
The first step is to reach out to our team, and I shared information
Okay.
on Shamika Clay. You can go to our website at hccs.edu/corp, C-O-R-P, or our email address is hcc.cctrain, that's corporate college train, at hccs.edu. Someone from our team will be glad to sit down with you and share in depth what it is required to apply for these funds. What I can say is Texas Workforce has made it as easy as possible to access these funds. They are very much aware of the need to make sure that we support the workforce. So if they reach out to us, we can sit down one-on-one with them and help them with the process. They will not be left alone. We actually complete the application, which is basically their business contact information, and then for us to check to make sure they are paying prevailing wages to their employees, and then we will alert them when they can actually submit the application. And normally by the time we've alerted them, it's 99.9% ready to be approved. And we do have the funds. Houston Community College already has the pot of funds to utilize from that pool of money that TWC has. And so I encourage everyone, we need to use this money up because they'd like to give us more.
So one question in the chat was the typical timeline to getting the training service. And then what is their minimum class size?
Yes, two things. We can normally get them up and running within about 4 to 6 weeks. There is a typical, right now, since we're delivering mainly virtually, we need to have at least 20 individuals, but not to fret. There are several, we can bring several businesses together. Say we have several businesses who would like to have time management. We can identify several, and we've worked with Goldman Sachs in that manner, where we've had at least 5 to 10 businesses in the same training together. So that won't limit them. We have a team who can coordinate all of those, and we identify topics that several businesses may want the same or similar. We are all in the same boat right now. And as I said, I really believe for everyone that Crisis Resiliency Series would be a really good key entry point. And again, this is a good opportunity to train. We can also work with you beyond the crisis. We will get beyond this pandemic. There's funding that is available beyond the COVID-19 series that's called the Skills for Small Business. So what I encourage businesses to do is start thinking about what you need to strategically have a solid training program after you've gone through Goldman Sachs and worked with MBDA. Part of maintaining that strong infrastructure is to have a trained workforce, and we can assure that there will be funding available for you throughout that process beyond this COVID-19 pandemic.
And so one question, everything right now is offered online or virtually, and we think it's going to be at least through the summer till at some point in the fall, and then maybe we'll start doing things hybrid. But right now, for the person that wanted to know, it is all virtual.
No, we do, depending on the business. If the business has the facility where we are able to maintain social distancing, we are training on site with some of our manufacturing companies because they have large warehouses, and we're able to figure that out. So we can, the one thing about corporate colleges, we're have it your way, offer where you want it, when you want it, how you want it. And so we will sit down with you and look at what is feasible, and if we can identify a facility that we could deliver training, we will do that. Most of our soft skills, however, are delivered virtually. Some of those things that require equipment, and we train on the sites at the facilities.
And Kimberly, a question for you was if you could share again the outcomes of participating in the Goldman Sachs program.
Sure. So as I mentioned before, that we measure everything. And so the outcomes would be after graduation, we look at our alumni at 6 months, 18 months, and 30 months to see their revenue growth and job creation. In addition to that, one thing that that we're really proud of, in 2020, we had 15 alumni that made the Inc. 5,000 fastest growing companies in America list. And in 2019, we had 16 alumni that made their list. Additionally, we have alumni that have increased revenue to 2 million plus. We have several roundtables for those alumni. They've created themselves where they can meet with other small business owners like mine in different industries, but whose revenue growth continues to grow, and they want to share ideas and opportunities.
One of the other unexpected things with the Goldman Sachs program was that the graduates are doing business with one another. And we thought that would happen, but it happens a lot. And now that we've got almost 800 with this current cohort, we'll be at 800, right? That's a lot
Yes.
of people that that you can really work with. And it's part of knowing someone, trusting them, then you really do want to collaborate.
That's the beauty of the program. It's the network. As a matter of fact, 86% of alumni do business with each other. 86% do business with each other. So that's both on a national level and on a local level. So in addition to the educational component, it is the networking that is really beneficial to the program, where they share information with each other and support each other. We have various platforms to do that. Goldman Sachs has developed an app. So if you are a participant in the program, and even after graduation, the app allows all of alumni throughout the country, that's in the United States, Puerto Rico, and Washington, D.C., to collaborate with each other, meet up, and then share opportunities. Additionally, 66% of alumni mentor other small business owners. So after graduating from the program, they feel a need to give back to the community, and they mentor others.
And they come back to the Alumni Association and share best practices. I think that's one of the most effective things that you do, right? They come back and really say, oh, this is how it worked, right?
Absolutely. Learning does not stop at graduation. So we continue to engage our alumni by hosting events. Every month we have an alumni networking opportunity. Because we are virtual and we don't have the opportunity to meet in person, we wanted to make that more frequent so that they can share and network with each other. I think another question in the chat box was, how often do the participants of the program get together? So virtually, we offer webinars on Mondays and Fridays. So it's 2 times a week that there will be a large webinar for all 30 to 35 participants to learn and share. But also during the week, they meet up in small growth group sessions. They pair up. We have paired partners. So there's always engagement throughout the program. While in-person delivery, we meet up once a week on Fridays and on various Wednesdays where we have clinics. We have a legal clinic, for example, where we bring in attorneys from across the country to share best practices for small businesses in legal. So there's always opportunities to meet up, and we try to keep the engagement high, both in person and virtual.
Now we know that if you miss a class, somebody will be calling to see where you are, right?
That is correct. We want you there.
Gabriela, somebody was asking how to access the virtual lobby.
Well, let me show you guys. You just go to hcc.edu/MBDA, and you see the MBDA virtual, you say live virtual support on WebEx, and then you click right there. It's pretty
You were
simple.
ready.
Guys, but if you also want to, you can do email or call back whenever you want to. I mean, we will always, one of the things we've noticed is that everyone is just overwhelmed, but we'll make sure to respond within 24 hours via email or phone call. So feel free to reach out to us. I mean, to talk to us, there's no cost or anything like that. Once you become a client, but I always tell people, even when you don't think you belong, just come and meet with one of our business advisors. They may give you an advice or where would you be better suited for. For example, Kimberly and I, we work very close together because she works with like the Goldman Sachs, small business owners. Some of my clients are her scholars, and some of her scholars have become our client. You can use all the services. We don't mind sharing the love, and you shouldn't worry about, I want to be loyal to one person, okay? Because there are things that I know maybe that Kimberly doesn't provide, or the things that Kimberly does provide that I don't provide, or maybe it's good to hear from two different perspectives. So I'm just letting you know, one of the things we always encourage is feel free to participate, feel free, especially now, you need to network. So the more people you know and the more people who are in your industry, it's the better.
And both MBDA and Goldman Sachs clients can avail themselves to the funding that we have available through the Texas Workforce Commission. And so we've worked with Kimberly with some of the Goldman Sachs individual businesses, and they've reached out to us as well. So it's all in the family.
Absolutely. It's one big family.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about speaking business in every language. You didn't touch on that.
Oh, yes. As I shared, we developed a small business training series, and those are for more of your mom and pop kind of businesses. And we work directly with the chambers of commerce. We worked with Cámara Empresario to develop the first one that we delivered in Spanish. And then we've worked with the Asian Chamber, and we've trained 80 businesses through our that program, and about 110 through Cámara Empresario. The Asian Chamber program we deliver in Mandarin, and before COVID hit, we had a plan to simultaneously have it in Mandarin, Vietnamese, and Korean. So when we get back, it is our hope that we will have each one of those will be 30 businesses going through a 10-week program where they will specifically focus on their business plan, their marketing plan, looking at legal aspects and access to contracts. And then at the end of that, one of the things is that they also we refer them to Goldman Sachs and to MBDA to let them know what resources are available. Once you've gone through any of the programs through the Office of Entrepreneurial Initiatives, you are plugged into all of our resources, workshops, seminars, and we network you to make sure that you know what resources are available to you. And that program, because of a relationship that we have with an organization called Master Language, we can offer it in pretty much any language. And so we have been reaching out to all of the chambers during this pandemic period to offer this program to their membership.
And Jennifer, as far as I know Cámara Empresario, most of them, they only speak Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure your speakers were Spanish proficient.
Yes, yes. And one of the things that we try to do is we identify a trainer who is the key trainer. We work very, very closely with the chamber as well. When we have each of those various topics, we identify a business or a member of the chamber who can supplement what we're teaching. Say if they've got a law firm, they are also speakers. So we have practical, real live trainers to come in and share with those individuals. And it's a wonderful opportunity for them to market their businesses. And then everything is about networking and connecting. There at the end of these trainings, there's a graduation. Cámara Empresario has a huge auditorium where the full family comes. It's a real big event. Everyone dresses up, and we do a cap and gown, and they receive certificate. So it has a lot of meaning for our graduates. And again, there's a lot of opportunity for networking and connection with each other throughout what they've gone through. They do have a business competition in the class, and at the end there's a winner, but at the end of it, everyone is really working in partnership with one another.
Nice. So there was another question, Kim, about a loan value. I'm not sure about $52,000. I'm not sure what that is.
I think they might be talking about the amount participants in the program receive when they go through the program. As I mentioned before, we work with community development financial institutions, and on average, the loans that are given are below $100,000. So that might be an average in their short-term loans.
Okay.
So that's about an average. I hope that answered the question. If not, let me know.
Any other questions or any other chats? Robbie, do you see any questions that we may have missed?
Ravi has questions for me, I think. So one of the things is if you become a client of MBDA, we don't charge, so you do have to pay a fee, a $200 and $50 fee in order to become a client of MBDA. But once you're in and we help you through the certification, there's no cost at that, except if you're applying, for example, organizations that they charge you for their certification, but that's directly to them. But with us, just you do that one-time fee, and then we help you go through the certification process or whatever you need in order to move. We do not take a commission or fee when we do contract matchmaking. And what we gain from you, if you increase, is we say we've helped $484 million in financing to certain business owners. So that's all because we're here actually to help you guys, to help you grow, to help you be there. And I'm going to give you a real example that a lot of people might not think of us, but during, as you know, there's the second round of PPP, and minority-owned business are one of those few, well, is a segment that basically we're not, we didn't get the loans, in other words, okay? They noticed that non-minority business, their loans were processed a lot faster than minority business. So this, for the second round, SBA is trying their best to reach out to the minority-owned communities. And we did an event for the PPP, and actually there was a client who had an issue with a lending officer. So somebody reached out to me, I reached out to SBA, and we were able to figure out what was happening and who did they need to contact and how they can process, because the lending bank or the lending institution didn't know how to calculate the PPP value, because some people are very good at PPP, but not everyone is good at handling PPP. So sometimes you need our resource, our contacts to find out what's going on behind the scenes. So anything we can do to help you through the process, help. I mean, a lot of people didn't even know that you can apply for PPP and IDL loans. So we, through our business consulting, there's a lot of tips that we give you that you may not see it, or like we refer that client to actually a different, to CDFI, like Kimberly said, the community developed financial institutions, another one to a banker, because once you start growing, you need to go from that online lending institution to actually you become friends with your banker, because in order to grow, you need capital. In order to grow your capital, you need that connection with the bank. So that's one of the ways that we help.
Gabriella, do your businesses have to be a specific size to become a client of MBDA?
Yeah, I mean, there's some that they need to have like $1 million or more, but we make exceptions here and there, you know. So if you're from Thai Houston, you've seen me. And if we could see that we can help you, because we don't take anybody. I mean, there are people that we say we're not for you. I mean, honestly, if you want to grow your business in space, we're not for you. I mean, we don't have that kind of expertise. But here we mainly focus in construction, healthcare, IT. We can help you like that. But if it goes sometimes, we have a couple of marketing people, accounting. what is the other one that I was interesting? Like gamification and stuff like that. We can help you through that. But again, but if you tell me I want to really create, there are things we can do, and there are things we cannot do. And because in order to become a client, you need to trust us. Before you even become a client, I want you to talk to one of our business advisors and see if you like them or not. And maybe today you're not ready for us. Maybe it could be in the future. I mean, we have people that they talk to us all the time. They're not our clients, but they come to our events. They always chat with us, and because they're already part of different organization, and we're okay. I mean, as long as you're minority owned, we're gonna help you. I mean, we're not gonna be horrible, or we're gonna even show you or tell you who do you need to contact. Like for example, like Kimberly was saying, like Cámara Expresarios. I mean, that's especially for those Spanish speaking only business owners who are out there, so it depends. We like to help whoever we can. And if you can become a client of us, that's amazing. But if you want to become a friend, I want to be your friend as well.
So Maya, where do
And
they go?
before we go, if I could just, oh,
I was going to ask Maya, where do they go if they don't fit your program, my program, or Gabriella's program? I think Maya has something for everyone, but go ahead,
Sure.
Kim.
We have 3 centers thank you for opening that. We have 3 centers for entrepreneurship that offer all kinds of services. Ravi is in charge of the Center for Entrepreneurship at Southwest. We've got one at Southeast, at Northwest, and eventually we'll have one at Northeast College. So, and they provide all kinds of services for small businesses. So we're just focusing on 3 programs today, but we have a lot more. We've got a business plan competition. We've got a program for veterans that Ravi is running. We've got a program for women at the Southeast. So there are lots and lots of other services. So thank you for asking such an astute question. And then we do partner with others. We're not the end all necessarily, but we will partner with the University of Houston SPDC. We partner with the Small Business Administration. So it's really part of a whole ecosystem. So if we don't have it and we don't have everything, we'll refer you out. So I think you have to think of us as a really good resource.
I mean, Maya, isn't like HCC partnering with the SBA for the matchmaking event that is happening on March 5th? I mean, that's a great way that
Yeah, typically we do
it taps
partner with,
to all different type of business owners.
of course. We support what they do and vice versa. We have an official MOU with them and several other organizations. So,
Well, you have an MOU with a lot of organizations. So
yes.
it's about sharing resources, and that's what we do. We share resources across. So as mentioned earlier, if the programs mentioned today don't fit your needs, there is a program. Reach out to us at HCC and we're sure we can find something for you.
Well said.
Thank you. Thank you, Maya, Jennifer, Kimberly, Gabrielle, for the very useful and helpful information here for our members. As Maya shared, my day job, I am at Houston Community College, and then my nut job, as most of you know, I'm the TIE Houston board member and committee chair for TIE University program. Very engaged in the community college scene, believe in the impact that it can make, and I truly believe Houston Community College is Houston's community college. So lots of opportunity for our members. I want to thank Maya for moderating and providing us 3 growth plans or growth programs for our members. So thank you for that. Folks, you will find a copy of this recording on our TIE Houston LinkedIn page, Facebook page, as well as our website, houston.tie.org. There is someone that you know that needs to know this. Just share it with them and let them know. Samia, if you could share our next upcoming event slide. And here's our next event. Our next event is going to be on March 2nd. It will be on building a high performing team by another TIE board member, Somesh Singh. So encourage folks to register. If you go to houston.tie.org, the link to register is there, and it will take place at the same time, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Central Time. And we'll like to wrap up the event here by just once again thanking our friends at HCC. And again, I want to thank Samia for doing all the work in the background here and making everything happen. So thank you so much, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day. Appreciate the information.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ravi.
Thank you.
Thank you.